Hi, welcome to HashiTalks Deploy. My name is Ray, and I am a developer on the Waypoint team. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about Waypoint today. Waypoint is HashiCorp's build, deploy, and release tool, and our goal is to add some ease back into the developer flow, and yeah, make development a little less complicated. It's been getting too complicated. So the first thing you need to do when you want to run a Waypoint server is to install the Waypoint server. So we're going to go ahead and do that. As I mentioned in the abstract, I want to give you a quick update on how the OIDC auth configuration works. It will be very quick because we try to make things easy for you. So I want to give you some background in what our token system looks like now, some of the UI stuff that's there now, and some of the UI stuff that's coming that Jamie will give you more insight into, and then also deploy something. So that's kind of the flow here. So to get started, I wanted to show how Helm installations go on a Kubernetes cluster, since we added support for that a little bit ago. And I don't know how much attention it's necessarily gotten. So yeah, so we've got our Kubernetes cluster here, got a nice service going. We're going to run our Helm install. It has a lot of reasonable defaults, but of course the you can feed in your own values there if you feel the need to. Helm finishes pretty quickly, telling Kubernetes what to do, but of course Kubernetes takes a couple more minutes to figure out what to do itself. So we'll just keep an eye on things. The main thing you want to look for is the bootstrap process, right? It's going to run, and then once it has run, then the Waypoint runner will finish initializing, and your server will be ready to go. So we'll just go ahead and take another quick look at that, and we can see that the bootstrap service has completed, and still we're waiting on that runner to initialize, but I think now it has, because of the magic of pausing a screen recording. And now we can use this command that's provided in that Helm install output to log into the server and complete that token exchange that the bootstrap process started. And now we're authorized to, do Waypoint things. A couple examples, right? We can just verify really quick that we have our Waypoint server up and running. So we have this Waypoint HCL. And if we run init, then it, of course, will register the project or initialize the project with the server. And then when we look at our Waypoint status, we can see that both of the applications that you don't have to trust me, I had in that Waypoint HCL are on the server, and their status is being tracked. So that's pretty cool. They don't have deployment or release status yet. We'll get there. We will deploy something. But yeah, so just kind of taking a tour around. One piece I did want to show you is where the context lives. The Waypoint context is what the Waypoint server uses to make sure that you're allowed to do things on the Waypoint server. Yeah, and then here you can see that I have a few installations going. But that middle one, if you're like me and you also happen to run several Waypoint servers at a time, the default one that your Waypoint commands are targeting is that one with that asterisk there. So yeah, Waypoint contexts are important. When you invite a new user to a system, they need to create a context so that their local CLI can communicate with the server. And the best way to do that right now, or I should say the most beautiful way to do that, is through our UI. So I want to take a minute and highlight the token, right? The invite token authentication system that Waypoint uses, that right now is fully supported in the UI. After I'll show you this bit, and then I'll show you the CLI OIDC side, and then Jamie will jump on and show you the upcoming OIDC in the UI. So right now, the currently released version of Waypoint 0.6.2 does have OIDC support in the CLI, and then 07, which is our upcoming release, will have that additional UI support. So yeah, so you have we have HashiCorp is our company name here. We have our Waypoint server. We want to invite some users, so maybe I give you a token. You head to the Waypoint server UI in your favorite browser. You put in your token, and then we have these lovely instructions on how to download that binary so that you can get fully up and running with Waypoint. This is all on our docs page as well, so don't worry about squinting. I know it's small. I just wanted to show the whole page, but yeah, so this will instruct you on how to, or your new teammates on how to download that binary. And then here we go. Here's that context create. We give you the token that you need, right? It's all, you've now exchanged your invite token for this server auth token, and then you can just copy and paste this right into your CLI. It will create the context for you, store it in that directory path that we looked at earlier, and you're good to go. You can now run commands like this. So yeah, that's our token authorization system. To enable OIDC to be used, we have an auth method command, and you create a new OIDC provider connection. I'm going to do Google here because it is very fast. And it also inherits the permissions that are set at an organization level. So even if I was not planning to delete this application before the recording aired, you still would not be able to log into our Waypoint server using this because those settings are already good to go. I think like GitLab, you have to do some extra tweaking and stuff. So make sure you're very familiar with your OIDC provider that you're setting up. But yeah, here we go. It's configured. And so now if we look at our auth method list, we of course see the token auth method, and then there's our Google OIDC authorization. So it's all good to go. And now I, as a new user, can log in using that auth method, and it does the OIDC thing. And again, hey, now I'm logged into the server. So that's OIDC. It's pretty good. We do provide some minimal user management at this time. More will be coming. Do not worry. We know this is just the initial implementation of OIDC authorization and user management. We have some broad strokes ideas that we share in our roadmap on our website. So again, it's waypointproject.io, and then the docs section of that, we have a link to a roadmap. It's a general summary. If you want to see more details, we do keep a pretty open board on GitHub, everyone's favorite issue management place. So as we commit to working on new features for upcoming releases, we will open issues and make sure they're assigned to the milestones and stuff. So that's one way, by keeping an eye on those milestones, where you can see what's coming up next. But back to this slide. So here, we can see this is me. I just authorized myself with the server. I don't like that username, so I'm going to update it. And you can do that. You can update a couple other things as well. So yeah, that's what we've got for OIDC so far. Like I said, Jamie will jump you through the UI version of that. And in the time that we have left, let's try to deploy something. How about that? Okay, so let's see what we can make happen here. Yeah, I think I want to show off this a little bit. We've got our kube cluster up, so let's grab this Kubernetes Apply plugin and see what we can do. I think, let's see, isn't it like, oh yeah, example apps, there you go. Haha, search history telling on me. So let's just throw one of these up and convert it to Waypoint and see what that takes. Let's see, we are going to be on GKE, so we'll go over here All right, let's see. Our cluster is all set up, so we can skip all the cluster stuff. Oh, here we go. Looks like this is what we need. Ah, I love copy paste buttons. And I'm in the directory. Thanks. Thanks, Google. Cool. All right, so we've got a few things. Oh, we are definitely gonna want that open here. Hold on, that's off screen. Here we go. Let me fit it to this lovely recording window here and zoom in. That'll all be wonderful. Okay, so we've got some stuff. Oh, you know what we need? Hold on, I can zoom in, I think. Yes, that's probably good. Too much. We're gonna need a Waypoint HCL, and now we have one. So now we can go back to our IDE, and there it is. Fantastic. So first thing I want to do is get rid of all of this. Yes, I must be clean. Yes, deploy to Docker. That is, in fact, what it says. Okay, so first things first, let's rename this to Kubernetes example guest book. Okay, and then we'll eventually have 3 apps, right? Because we're gonna do a leader app, a follower app, and a front-end app. So let's do that. Would it help if we said Redis specifically? Maybe, sure. Use Docker. I don't, let's see what we are doing. This is the service. Okay. Deployment is relying on an image. You know what? I think, like, I don't need to rebuild this. Yeah, well, let's throw this in. So this is how, if you have an image you already want to use, you can use Docker Pool. It's one of our plugins, so that's super fun. Let's see, so image is actually not the tag. And then the tag, oops, Tage. Okay, cool. All right, so we don't need a registry because we're not pushing, we're just pulling, but I'm gonna leave that there. When we do the next apps, we'll want registries, so we'll leave that. And then, let's see, the deploy, we'll do the deployment. Oh, right, yeah, so this is where we're gonna bring in the whole thing, the whole reason, Kubernetes Apply. So the Kubernetes Apply plugin means, like, since the wonderful people who made this example app have already done all the hard work for us for giving us these YAMLs, then we can just sync them up to Apply and get all of our Waypoint benefits. Okay, so what we're doing here is Kubernetes Apply takes a path and a label, and these are both required because this plugin will recursively search all of our directories for any YAMLs. And we actually have a lot. So why don't we I don't want to do this one all in one. That's separate. So let's just make a new folder, YAMLs, and throw some of these in here. So that, yes, move them all. That way, let's see, then we can add this here, and that'll just keep them, like, sequestered a little bit so we're not trying to parse anything that we don't actually care about. Okay, so that should take care of that. Let's give it a spin. So now we need to re-init, or, oh no! Quoted string cannot be over multiple lines. What did I do? Aha, yes, thank you. That's important. You should always end your quotation marks. Oh no, you're still mad at me. Fail to recognize the literal number. Right, you know what, it's funny, I noticed that and I thought, oh no, it's a number, I don't need. This is going great, okay. Right. Okay, so I ran Waypoint up and then we got this lovely thing. So now, if we check on our Kube stuff, hey look, we've got our Redis leader service and our Redis leader pod and all this fun stuff.
It's there, it's magic. Okay, next let's do let's see, that was the leader. Oh, I guess we wanna make sure we're getting what we're getting. Ready, accept connections. Awesome. Okay. Oh, we already did the service. We actually did both at once. Oh, I don't think, right, because, sorry, I don't think I re-explained that. So the prune label takes all the labels where a role equals leader, and that's what we have here and here. So that Kubernetes Apply actually did both at the same time. So the Redis leader takes care of all the Redis leader stuff, and we don't have to worry about anything else. All right, so let's make a follower. Let's see, do we want to use Docker pool on this? I don't. Let's see, what are we doing? What are we doing? Follower. Okay, we are doing an image. You know what? Let's build this one. First of all, sometimes GKE is weird with permissions, as I've learned lately. Yeah, so let's build this one. So we're not gonna do Docker pool. We're gonna do good old Docker. Oh, so you know what we need to do? Yeah. See, we have this Docker file here that will build, yeah, this is to build the, the Docker file for us. So let's use that. So, so we need to set our app path. I think, let me double check the syntax on another screen. I think it's just path. Path, it is. So path equals current directory, and then let's see, Redis, it would help if I could spell, Redis follower. Okay, so now this is our app path, so that means build Docker. We actually, oh yeah, because we wanna name it, that's right. And I don't know, we'll just call it latest, I don't care. Yeah, so this will build in this subdirectory, right? Because Waypoint HCL knows that everything exists. Okay, so I am gonna pause again, do a little magic, and then explain it, because again, time, 1 second. Okay, so we are going to use this wonderful Docker registry block. We're gonna push it to our GKE, GCR, the Google, so many acronyms. I guess that's just what people do, right? So yeah, we're gonna push the image there so that our cluster can access it and I don't have to configure any weird permission things. I'm gonna go ahead and use a variable for project ID just so that I don't have my project ID sitting here as such, and I'll supply that at runtime via an environment variable. I'm gonna try to kind of hide it from you. We don't have secret variables, input variables yet. Those are on the roadmap. But for now, I'll try to be, careful. I mean, it's all locked down, but sanity. So let's see. So so we have our build, we push it to the registry, and then there's an extra space here. YAML still works, but let's make the label, let's see, the role is now gonna be follower, I believe, yes, that would make sense. So that will take this and this, awesome, deployment and service. Great, so that's it. Oh, no, okay, these though, hang on, one of these is using, yeah, okay, so this we need to update. Hey, now we get to actually do this fun syntax. So our build step, right, is gonna output an artifact, metadata that Waypoint knows the artifact exists, right, and pass that, the built artifact to the later stages, right? So we can say, artifact, let's see, I think it's .name, and then it would be artifact.tag, makes sense. Let's try that. Great, and then you know what? There is one other thing that I think it's in our examples repo. So let's jump over there. Let's see, Kubernetes, which our examples repo, by the way, fantastic. Apply. You know what, this is in our help text too, so I probably could have, oh, not that one. I could have done that. I'm sorry, I'm showing you the long way to find this. I'm pretty sure it's just in the CLI docs. Here we go, this is what I was looking for. Oh, we need both of these. So the well, for this one, not so much. We don't need a URL service for Redis, but let's go ahead and grab this env stuff here, and that we can just put it. Oops, I didn't bring the. Okay, and it's gonna yell at us, but this should still work. What this is gonna do is when our entry point gets injected, which will happen automatically, because we're not disabling it, because we want the entry point so that we can look at logs if we want to. When the entry point gets injected, then those are like passed along, and so we're to the following stages, and so then we can iterate over that there based on the artifact that we built. So let's see, name follower, that's fine. I think I'm okay with that name. Sure. So I think we can go ahead and build this. Okay, so waypoint up, and let's see, we can now specify, what is this app named? Oh, did we update the app name? I don't know if we did. Did we? Oh, good. It was the first thing we did. Good, good, good. Glad I'm looking out for myself. Okay, so let's try this. Hey, we're mad. An argument named image is not expected. Really? That's an embarrassing thing to get wrong. Huh. Oh, oops. Sorry, y'all. Yes, right. That's not, we just leave this blank. The registry is where we will name and push the image, or name and tag the image and push it to that registry. We are just building with Docker, so maybe. All right, so this is gonna run and I'll save you some time. Quick update. I missed that because we set the path to this directory, we then needed to update, or I just threw the follower YAMLs over here so that all the paths would line up. So I'm gonna pause again and rerun that waypoint up. Okay, so that was successful for the sake of time. We got this teed up to copy paste from our little tutorial here, and it looks like that is exactly what I wanted to happen. So fantastic. So we created both the, let's see, that's the deployment and the service as well, right? So we've got a follower, a leader, and then of course all the other waypoint stuff in the Kubernetes core. So we are ready to do our front end. That seems pretty painless so far. Knock on wood. Sorry, I just messed it up. All right, so let's do our last app. We'll call it the front end here. We're gonna go to this. All right, and then I know now we're gonna have to set the path here, which means we want our front end YAMLs to specifically be within the front end directory there. All right, so this is gonna be PHP Redis, and this should all be like pretty similar, so that can stay, right? We're just gonna update this to front end. And then our Kubernetes Apply path is the same. Okay, this has to be different. So service, let's see, tier front end, sure. That seems fine. Yeah, great. Wait a second, spec, hang on, wait, VS Code. You're not, hey, we need labels here. Right? Yes, okay, there we go. All right, now, now we can use this as our selector here. and we'll do all the front end building at once. That felt way too easy, but I think that's all we need to do. We're building Docker, we're pushing the file. Let's give it a go and see what happens here. So Waypoint up, app equals front end. Something's gonna yell at me. That was way too easy. I'm gonna hit another pause because we're encroaching on 15 minutes here. You know what? It wasn't that easy. Forgot we had to update this image. So let's see. Oh, you know what? It's hold on. Where was the follower? I fixed this off camera. I had this as artifact.name. It's artifact.image. So that will go there. Oh, and then, okay, so this part is very important actually. So this, right, is important, excuse me, along with, let's see, we can keep that one. Along with, what was the other, we need to set See, we need to set the port to match or we need to tell the URL service which port to use, right? So let's see. Wow, that was a really terrible copy paste. Hang on. There we go. And let's go ahead and tell our URL service that we're going to be on port 80 there. Okay. Oh, and we've got duplicate env keys there. Okay. I'm going to jump back over and run this. All right, I had to fix some YAML formatting because don't we all? Some of you, I'm sure, noticed that those were indented and of course should not be. But let's see, how well did we do? Crossed fingers. Oh no, maybe it's still running or maybe we have to do some debugs. Let's see. Logs app equals front end. Oh, just logs. Nothing there. I don't think it's running yet. Let's see. Well, let's get pods. Front end is pending, but all the other... I cheated. I paused you for like a minute and I went into my UI and then I realized, oh, it's connecting now. Oh, it needed a minute. It needed a minute. And so now if we open, hey, we've got our guest book. Whoops, no, hey, capitalization is important. So, there it is. We did it. We did this. So our final, so the main updates we had to make were, let's see, sorry, it's a little crowded here. We had a Waypoint HCL. We had to kind of rearrange, I guess we can get rid of this now. We had to rearrange the Docker images. We used Docker pool on the leader, and yeah, and then set up the Kubernetes Apply plugin, pointed it at our YAML. That was all we needed to do there. The Redis follower, we needed to set the path. Oh, because we wanted to just build the image using that Docker file that was in this path. So we did that. Used that image so we can get logs there. Actually, let's see what kind of logs we get from here. Oh, right. You have to actually use a flag if you want to see information. Cool. So we see the Redis logs, and then we also see the Waypoint entry point logs. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, and then the front end app, again, same thing. We set our path, we built our image, and then we ran that there. We're using one whole project or one whole variable, input variable. I supplied the value via just a environment variable there, and then of course we had to update. This is kind of the key thing here. That is in our documentation and should help you there. And then again, yeah, if you ever want to check out that Waypoint examples, it's fantastic. And it's in the documentation right here. the plugin, and then you look down at the examples. It's pretty well notated down there. So that is that. And then let's see, yeah, so that's what we did. Go us.
All right, so that was the demo. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, keep us updated, us on the Waypoint team, with any projects that you are doing. Definitely come by, check out the issues that people have opened for, feature requests. And of course, if, as you run across issues or bugs, please let us know. And let us know what you're building with Waypoint. Those kind of stories get us excited when we see them. So definitely let us know, and look forward to seeing you all around. All right. Have a good rest of HashiTalks Deploy.